a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them.
I'm introducing a bill to completely eliminate the H-1B visa program.
We need to release the Jan 6 tapes to a public online source.
If we release these videotapes just widely for the public, number one, we put the security of the Capitol at risk.
But when someone's only consistent through line is remarkable inconsistency, I mean this, I don't know where she lines up. Speaking of women who completely shirk accountability, look, I need you to just listen here. And this is the problem too, I see this on the right, where people have already made up their mind without access to all of the information available to them. And then they will create these factions. So you have people now arguing, I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump has betrayed us. Or I'm with Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene is an idiot. And they don't know that Marjorie Taylor Greene or people like her have taken both sides of almost every major issue. And I talked about this on Piers Morgan's show. I'm going, look, you're asking me to criticize someone or something, but which one am I talking to?
Yeah.
Which position? Because no matter which position you assail or you defend against, you will have a group of people upset at you because they're completely unaware of the other position, and that is by design. It's a strategy. Marjorie Taylor Greene is, of course, welcome to come on the show, but a lot of people have been sending in chats asking our opinions on her, and so it's time for the latest installment of Then and Now. So for one of the key issues, I think we would all agree, immigration, right? People go, so who do you line up with on immigration? Donald Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene? Now, I'll tell you this, I am completely against 600,000 Chinese students.
Yeah.
Completely against uncapping H-1Bs. But I do support a strong border and deporting people. Anyone who's here illegally, I support deporting. Now, would I be supporting Marjorie Taylor Greene's position? Well, they're not the same. They're completely inconsistent on those issues. So I don't know how to address it. That takes us back to then. Marjorie Taylor Greene, all references available, link in the description. We can't deport illegals because of something, her construction company.
As a conservative and as a business owner in the construction industry and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that.
I completely disagree with that. I don't care about her construction company.
Nope, neither do I.
And this is why also we've done this video where I was taking the work from illegal aliens at Home Depot. By the way, I was still being paid like 25, 30 bucks an hour. It turns out these people make a killing. I don't care. I think Americans are willing to work these construction jobs because we always have. Disagree with that. But now we go to now. This one, well, you know what, I'd be on board. Now she says, no, we should be extra strict on immigration, especially H-1Bs.
I'm introducing a bill to completely eliminate the H-1B visa program, which has been riddled with fraud and abuse and has been displacing American workers
This looks coerced.
for decades.
Now with that, I completely agree, and I would imagine there probably aren't a lot of Pajeets in the construction business. Though I think it seems she may have found a fair compromise.
I am telling you, this blueprint makes no sense at all.
Maybe it is supposed to do that.
It's not. It's not.
Definitely not.
What? Maybe.
The rubble grow.
I don't know.
Darren, don't ask questions.
Yeah, Indian concrete.
Best at physics.
Yeah.
It's the blueprint.
This is an important one. For example, we were covering January 6th. We did a whole show on it when no one was covering this. Where we said this QAnon shaman absolutely should not be in prison. He was invited in, even though he's weird, he was invited in and told everyone to be peaceful. So let's go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene let's go back to then. On the January 6th tapes. This is from May 7th, 2023. She wrote on X, a lot of people are asking me when we are going to release the January 6th videotapes. Well, I'm wondering the very same thing, and I'm waiting too. We need to release the Jan 6 tapes to a public online source so that everyone knows what did and didn't happen. Then May 31st, 23, she said, huge news, as I promised, the J6 tapes will be released.
There we go.
Which brings us to now, or really just kind of a flop because it's not now. Well, no, we can't release the January 6 tapes.
This is our real concern with the videotapes. If we release these videotapes just widely for the public, number one, we put the security of the Capitol at risk because there's over 1,700 video cameras.
And see, this is tough
that
because
was within days, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and this is tough because on the first issue, immigration, I don't agree with her previous position that we just can't deport people. I disagree with that, but I agree with her new position that we should halt H-1Bs.
Yeah.
But in this one, I agree with her old position that we should release the January 6 tapes. I disagree with her new position that we can't.
Yeah.
She meant there's 1,700 feds.
So I'm split half. You guys comment below if you see the issue with this. Like, no one can say, well, I'm Team Trump or Team Marjorie Taylor Greene because you don't know what the team is. This brings us to another installment of Then. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and on this one, I think I would agree. She was calling out rhinos for not repealing Obamacare.
What made me run for Congress when I saw the Republicans in Congress, the House and the Senate, completely fail to deliver the agenda that we had all voted for, the reasons why we voted for Donald Trump. It was
The Republicans,
Yep.
the traditional Republicans, who she says failed to rein in federal spending, repeal Obamacare, or fund President Trump's border wall.
Now, that's pretty important because she said it was the reason that inspired her to run.
Yeah.
So if it is the central inspiration for your running, I would imagine you understand it.
Yes.
Right? This is not just
Delivering
something
the
that
promise.
It's not a glancing sort of blow.
Right, exactly.
But then that brings us to the now position, which is she supports extending the Obamacare subsidies.
We definitely should extend these ACA tax credits, and we need to build an off-ramp because it'll cost $30 billion a year to do it. We can build an off-ramp and
my construction
open
company.
up a new system
You're
that will
talking about
serve
the
every
Affordable Care
American.
Act.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing. I completely disagree with the Marjorie Taylor Greene now on that. And I know some people say, well, you're not being fair because she said we'll use that to build an off-ramp. No. Funding the subsidies guarantees that there will never be reform to the Affordable Care Act. And we know that. And considering this is one of the central inspirations for her running, you would think she would know that too. Continuing the subsidies means you will continue Obamacare as it exists. So I don't know where you guys line up. So for me, I was on board with her new position on H-1Bs, that one. I was on board with her older position on January 6 tapes.
Okay.
And I was on board with her older position on the Affordable Care Act.
There we go.
Not now. So it's her current positions, I guess. It's I'm on board with one of three.
Well, now I'm also a little bit more pissed off because she's like, and we can build an off-ramp. Didn't we hear that like right after? Hey, we'll repeal and replace. Don't you remember that?
Right.
That they never actually did anything with, and that it would never actually happen because if you make it too cheap for people, nobody's ever going to vote to go a different direction.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the Affordable Care Act, keep in mind, it's designed to increase costs year over year by incentivizing insurance companies to, references available in the description, to keep increasing the spending, to vertically integrate medical businesses like pharmacies and doctors' offices.
Covered that.
It's meant to fail us, the Affordable Care Act. It is meant to fail us into single payer. You can go check out our previous segment on that. That's what the left said when they implemented it. So, it's not lost on me that she's saying build an off-ramp. In this case, let's grant she just doesn't have an understanding that extending the subsidies will guarantee that continues. Also, her justification she posted was because her kids can't afford it now.
Oh.
So there might be the 26-year-old thing. I don't know exactly.
She's got a lot of wealth. Didn't she make a bunch of money?
Her construction
company's worth about $25 million.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
Yeah, 15 to 20. And that may not, and people have said it's all from trades. It's not, just to be clear, I want to be fair on that. It's for her construction company. She's made some trades that would be in line with, probably ones you couldn't make, but that's not where she built all of her wealth. Let's go back to another installment of Then, incendiary takes. I don't think that I'm breaking any news saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene has largely branded herself as a bomb thrower.
Right.
Right?
Figuratively.
Yeah, figuratively, of course.
No real ones.
Yeah. She's kind of like one of our squad people, meaning the more vocal, the more visible.
She heckled a president.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. So wild takes, right? She was a bomb thrower. For example, she said that certain people control the weather in response to Hurricane Helene. She suggested that there was a body double replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
It's possible.
Said that Pelosi was a traitor, that space lasers maybe caused the California fire. Again, all references are available. You can go click on those. And by the way, on that last one, space lasers causing the California fire, we can't be sure. It is at least plausible.
Oh, Sam. I guess they shouldn't use those naughty words.
I don't know. He moonlights Jewish Death Star.
Faceted.
So
every 7 years.
And by the way, I don't have a problem with being a bomb thrower, provided that the bombs you're throwing, figuratively, are truth bombs.
Yes.
No problem with that. It brings us to now, where she said that we need to stop toxic and extreme political rhetoric.
I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country, and it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
And so, and she's walked back some of her claims. Now, granted, you could say, well, she just apologized and she acknowledged that she was wrong. Okay, so maybe that's not a flip-flop. But again, when that is the basis of her career, where she said, I go in, I don't care, I don't need to make friends, she's going to throw these truth bombs out there.
Yeah.
And now, once she's reached a point where I guess she's comfortable, no, we shouldn't do that. That's like someone, pulling the ladder up behind them for other people who may be more capable in throwing truth bombs because they're largely true. And so this is what I have a huge problem with, is people talking about the fracturing on the right, and none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene has spoken about it at length, saying this has been one of the most painful things to see Trump attack me and see the civil sort of this infighting, civil war on the right, figuratively. I want to use my language very carefully.
Yeah.
But you kind of would be infighting with yourself. And when people ask me, well, where do I line up? Or they ask you, well, you can't answer that question. It doesn't mean that people can't change their minds. But when someone's only consistent through line is remarkable inconsistency, I mean this, I don't know where she lines up. And I would love for Marjorie Taylor Greene, Representative Greene, to be on this program. We'll host her fairly and to have her explain it. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't know how you can be against deportations and then be right on stopping H-1Bs. I don't know how you can go back and forth on the Affordable Care Act like that. I don't know. And we see that with a lot of people on the right who tend to exclusively fight right. And so my question is, what have these people done to fight the left? That is the most important standard, whether it's a talking head, whether it's a commentator, whether it's a politician, a representative. You can have disagreements on the right, but it needs to be counterbalanced and it needs to be proportionate with how much and how often are you fighting the left effectively. I think that's the most important measuring stick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then some of the ways that she's walked some of these things back has been a little bit weird. Right. So saying that Pelosi had a great career after calling her a literal traitor. I mean, so you have to understand, like, it's hard to imagine how those two positions can be jointly held. I don't
think so.
Well, hold on. Here's why. If somebody is a traitor to our country and you're willing to go out and publicly say somebody as a high official in this country is literally a traitor to our country, and then to go, yeah, but they've actually had a good career.
Well, no, she said that Pelosi was effective at implementing her agenda, and she wished that Republicans would be as effective. That's kind of like fighting Mike Tyson going, yeah, he bit a guy's ear. I think he's out of line, but he's one of the greatest boxers. He's obviously a good fighter.
Well, then the quote that I was reading then wasn't a quote. Then it was just a generalization.
Yeah, generalization.
It didn't make any sense to me. I was like, that just makes sense.
No, and that's why I wanted to be as fair as possible. Yeah. Like, I think that you can respect someone as a worthy adversary, even if you think they're evil.
That's fine then. If that's how she said it, then I don't have as much of a problem with that. That's not as weird as saying somebody's a traitor and then saying they've had a good career.
Right.
I think he called her a traitor because it goes with the nickname Marjorie Trader Green. So that's
what that's your theory?
Yeah.
You think it was based on the
alliteration.
Based on the iteration of a nickname?
Yeah. That's all. It works so well with the initials.
I think he knew that she has no chance to win a Senate seat outside of her local district, right? And I think he told her that, and I think that this became personal. That's why. But I'm addressing where people try and use a litmus test. Well, if you don't stand with Marjorie Taylor Greene, then you're not MAGA. Which one?
Yeah.
You know, she mentioned the wall, though. Have you guys heard anything about the wall? I mean, the border's secure, great. The minute he's gone, it's the start of the Boston Marathon in ponchos. Right?
Yes.
So we've got to start laying this thing in. And I haven't heard anything about it. Have you?
No, I mean, I know that there's still money allocated for it to continue to be built, but right now, being a net negative migration country, that's a good thing for the first time.
Yeah.
I know people usually say, "Oh, you want to be growing?" No, not if it's people who are here illegally. But
you got to have a fence.
Yep, you got to have a guest book that people sign on the way in.
Your mom's signing it in a couple of weeks.
That's true. Yeah, going through the process, all that. Yeah. I don't want. Why are you? What is? He has a grin where he probably just thought of something really dirty that he's not going to say.
I thought you were going to run with it.
All right. We want to move on to the Muslimizing of America.
Yeah, let's take an easy topic.
Yeah.
Put us all in the crosshairs.
By the way, no flip-flopping on this one from us.
None whatsoever.
Unless you're throwing a flip-flop.
That's true. Chicleta. YouTube's is something you're not allowed to say according to the guidelines. I was quoting the guidelines. I'm glad you're still here. It means you watched this video all the way through. Oh. It says here that Rumble, where you can go follow my channel, lets you say pretty much anything, provided it's not illegal. That reminds me of, what does it remind me of? Oh, yeah. YouTube, pre-2015. Go on and follow me there. I'm live, 11 a.m. Eastern, weekdays. Don't call YouTube a. Oh, it's just a different way of saying it's.